Hi, everyone. I am Tara. Well, first off, I'd like to welcome you all back to my channel. I am Tara, aka Spirit Mother, and I'd like to welcome you all back on YouTube. I am 19, or on YouTube. I am Spirit to Spirit Teaching Going Within Self. On my TikTok, 1974 Soul, and I'm also live on my Facebook. If you're new to my channel, I would recommend or suggest that people go and read the description on my YouTube to get a better understanding of what my channel is about. That's Spirit to Spirit Teachings of Going Within Self. So, as I said many times before, I use life experiences to bring forward within my channel. It's not to humiliate people, or it's not to shame people, or what have you. If people feel shame from it, well, then maybe it's something that you're doing, because I'm admitting to the things that I do myself. It's kind of like a self-confession, and it's like it's my journal. It's a diary, and I have no shame bringing it forward to people. And other people may say, "Well, we should. It's like it's none of anybody else's business." But you know what? If it's my life and I want to put it out there, well, then that's me. If it offends you, well, maybe you should learn to. We need to learn to treat each other better. Okay. Today, my topic is the words "I'm sorry." Okay. We hear it a lot, especially when we're in stores or just walking somewhere and people walk past you, they walk in front of you and they say, "I'm sorry." And I never could understand why people would walk in front of you and apologize for walking in front of you when it should be excuse me when you're walking in front of people. So it's that the word paradox came to me, but it's like, is it a paradox? It's more of people are constantly saying sorry for walking in front of someone, or like if they simplest little things of walking past somebody or in front of them, or taking something before they get it at the same time. It's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Okay. And that's where I get confused. Not, not just confused, but left shaking my head. Like, people will say excuse me or say sorry for walking in front of someone, but when they've actually hurt the person or done something wrong, or they're feeling remorse for someone or what have you, they don't use the words "I'm sorry." Some people think, "Oh, well, you should be sorry." Yeah, there are things that you should be sorry for doing. And walking in front of somebody is not something that needs an apology of "I'm sorry," because that's when the words get worn out and misused. To me, apologize, saying "I'm sorry" is more for things that you've hurt someone, or you've just gotten some bad news from somebody that they experienced. It's that part of "I'm sorry to hear that," or "I'm sorry you're going through that." Not "I'm sorry because I walked in front of you." Okay, feeling regret, like regretful, remorseful for hurting others. Yes, I've even come on here for certain people and said that I was sorry. Even if I like read a comment and it wasn't for me, it was for somebody else in the comments. and somebody was defending me. There's been a couple times where I've actually kind of lit into the wrong person, the person that was defending me, and I apologized. I said I was sorry for doing it. I've even told, like, I don't know if they watched, but I've even come on here and did a full out apology to someone because of something I did that was wrong and that hurt people. But it's that part that, when people really hurt me, and I can feel when they're intentionally trying to hurt me because they send that vibration to me, that energy to me. And it's like, wow, even when they're proven wrong, a few months ago, I told somebody that it was kind of a date rape. And I told someone about it happening with my ex-husband, because they were bringing the person around here because they didn't know that it happened. But I was having a lot of aggression towards this person and my ex-husband because he kept bringing the person here. But they didn't know. I just kept telling them I don't want them here. And they were saying that they were hijacking their brain. This person was hijacking their brain and everything. I kept telling them. Okay? I wanted the person to get help because the person had been asking for help from his family. And I even went and made the effort and started helping them, even went to the doctor with them. And this was somebody who sexually assaulted me. And when I tried to talk to my ex-husband, but I never could. Because every time I tried talking to him about it, he talked down to me, which irritated me. One day I actually packed some stuff up and I went, they were at the neighbor's place, and I went to him and I told him I wanted to talk to him. And he talked very ignorantly to me. I didn't care who was around. It blurted out of my mouth of what happened. I told him straight up that I was having sexual intercourse with this person back in 2016. And a day when I told him I didn't want to anymore, they more so forced themselves, and it scared me. I just kind of laid there, freaked out, crying. So I blurted it out in public with people sitting right there. And I was a dirty whore. And he keeps calling me a whore and a slut. And I'll say it, I haven't been sexually active in 2.5 years. But he's never apologized for calling me those names. He uses an excuse. Well, you shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have been doing that. I wasn't with him. Those are the parts when you're calling someone a whore and a slut and a cunt and everything like that. Every derogatory thing you say you're a man. No, real men don't do that. Real loving, caring men do not do that. And when they realize what they were doing or talking to you, and they never say, I'm sorry, you don't deserve someone like myself, a good person. At least not the way. And I'm not just talking about my ex-husband, I'm talking about people like that, whether they're men or women. And, I feel that. They don't want me talking about it. Well, it's like too bad for you. If you, the reason why they don't want me talking about it is because it looks bad on them. And if people don't think that it should look bad on them for the way they behave towards a woman, and then they tell me I'm in my masculine, I'm so far in my masculine. The reason why I'm so far in my masculine is because I've always had to be my own protection. I've always had to be my own defender because I didn't really have that in my life. But I was always there to protect and defend other people. I've even had people say, "Oh, like you know, like like certain things wouldn't have happened if I had been there, or if I was there, I would have taken the people to task for it." It's like I'm not here to be your guard dog or your bitch or whatever. I'm here to help you to empower yourself, to be your own force to be reckoned with. It's a part of being able to speak up for yourself, knowing when to walk away and knowing when to just stand in your powers, stand up for yourself. And sometimes we need to stand up for other people. But while we're standing up for them, we need to also teach them how to empower themselves, how to stand up for themselves. And there are people on here that say, you shouldn't apologize for the things that you do. Well, fuck yeah, you should. If you're hurting someone else, you're fucking right. You should be sorry for it. Sometimes we're retaliating. So that's like when you're retaliating, that's when both parties or all parties involved should be sorry for like what happened. It's figuring out what happened sometimes. I have never had anyone really apologize for the things that they've done to me, but they want me to apologize for stuff that I've done to them. I don't know, like back years ago, we were at a dance. My sister and I and a few others were at a dance. And we went to the women's washroom. My sister's boyfriend was in the bathroom. My sister was in the stall. My sister's boyfriend tried kissing me. And as when he tried kissing me, as I was pushing him away, my sister was walking out of the stall and thought that I was kissing him. And to this day, probably still thinks the same thing. My other sister, a guy that she was seeing that I didn't even know that they were seeing each other. We kissed and stuff like that. And years later, we got talking, and I told her about it, and I told her that I didn't know, and it gets held against me, and it was something else that happened with someone close to me, and I told her, and every time I got blamed for it. Like, why am I getting blamed for someone else's behavior? And one of them, yeah, I did kiss when I was 15, and they were much older. And I did kiss them back. Sometimes it's to try to get yourself out of a bad situation. When I was 16, or sorry, when I was 17 and or 16 or 17, it was right around the time that I overdosed the first time. I told my parents about stuff that had happened to me. I'm going to be upfront and honest. I was close to one of my uncles when I was little, but not anymore. Not a lot of people know. But I went somewhere one night with him when I was 14, and this is gonna run deep because a lot of people like to say I'm a fucking liar. No. I even told my mom after I overdosed, the reason why I ran from home. And this one night I was 14, and I was in the room changing. We were going somewhere, and they were out in the car. My uncle was out in the car. And I was changing, and I didn't close the curtains because, you're 14. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think I was going to be being watched. And I got out to the car, and they told me, next time you should close the curtains. I didn't think of it. I went up to the place. They were drinking on the way back. They had me stop on the side of the road. They started kissing me and stuff. Tried kissing me. And then we got to the house. We're sitting in the kitchen. They were drinking. And my grandmother didn't know. And my grandmother told me, because I was laying out, I went to bed with my mom on the couch. And when they got up in the morning, my mom and my grandmother, they told me to go in and lay in bed with my uncle. And I laid in the bed with my uncle, and he got on top of me. Didn't have sex with me, he got on top of me. And I pushed him off, and I kind of put a barrier because I didn't want to tell my mom. I didn't want to tell my nanny. And I was pretending I was sleeping when my nanny came in, and she put a liquor bottle between us and took a picture. I don't blame them. At that time they didn't know. And nobody wants to put a rift in the family. But I never get apologies from anyone. Even when they find out that it's true. Never, I'm sorry, I didn't believe you. So, people who go through this, if they they make it through and they still have a heart, they're a person who really knows how to forgive and love because, it's like those people. If you're not moving forward with things, I feel that. And if it puts a barrier, then nothing was ever love. Because the words "I'm sorry" can be just words, or it can actually mean something. I feel that it's like a screaming in here, And it's like, my inner child never got protected. Now that I'm protecting my inner child, I'm protecting myself, and I'm telling my story. But I've moved on from the stuff because, you know, it's the part where, the people that hurt others, including myself, when I've hurt others, it's not about being sorry for being who you are, like being your authentic self. It's about when you're hurting people, not just because you walked in front of somebody or you cut them off. Did you mean to cut them off? Because if you meant to cut them off, and then you said, "Oh, sorry," well, you weren't fucking sorry to begin with because you meant to cut them off. So a lot of the time, unless I really feel it within my body that someone is actually genuinely sorry, then to me, they're just words. It's the same as the words "I love you." Anybody can just say the words "I love you." Doesn't mean that they mean it. Maybe it's "I love you" because I want to manipulate you and I'm gonna breadcrumb you. I'm gonna like just keep you on a string. See, a lot of people, especially family, didn't know a lot of what I went through because I got, well, what's the sense of saying anything? I get blamed for everything anyways. Some they'll blame the people for it because of how they look or how they dress. Because of my past, I became promiscuous. But when I became promiscuous, I was always drunk and I'd black out a good lot of time. Not remembering there was one time um, in the country, I went to a dance because I was like like I wanted to get back with my ex, my son's father, but I didn't at the same time. And I went and I was going to go there and I didn't get to go. And I went home and I just wasn't done drinking yet. So there was two guys that I knew from school. I went with them. I drank with them and I was drinking the alcohol straight because I had an alcohol problem. It wasn't it was an everyday thing. It wasn't an everyday thing. A lot of time it was on the weekends. And I'd go through spells where I'd have people at my house that would be just drinking. One night I drank like 16 beer in caps because it lowers your self-esteem, your self-worth. And a lot of people, they do, yes, they end up speaking truth when they're drunk. And then they don't remember speaking it. Or if they do, they say they don't. So this night I went and I got in the car and I went drinking with them. And I blacked out. I don't remember. I just, all I remember is getting in the car. And the next morning I was supposed to get my son and come back home. I woke up that morning in my bed naked. And I went next door to his phone And the elderly lady next door told me that she seen two guys sleeping in my house early that morning. I never told anyone. And then the ones that did show up, because people liked coming to my place and we have drinks and stuff like that. And there was after I had my youngest son, place I was living, I was drinking, and I went next door, and the woman's boyfriend started kissing me, and I went home, showed up, and like for me, okay, I understand that because drinking actually it lowers people's like it lowers people's self worth. And I'm sorry for those things that I did. And for me to be able to for me to use alcohol as an excuse, that's still wrong with me. And it's wrong with me because it was my choice to drink, knowing that what it does. And if people look down on me for that, well, you look at me however you want. But I'm telling you right now, it takes a lot of courage for me to look at myself and put myself out there and my truth. Because I know how I'm being looked at sometimes, but it's the part where, at least I have the courage to speak my truth and say my thoughts and take responsibility for my actions, even if there was substance involved. I got taken to the hospital one night because I was drinking basically vodka almost straight up. And oh yeah, I couldn't fucking breathe. I had alcohol poisoning and I was punching my son's father in the chest, trying to get him to help me breathe because I couldn't breathe. And the doctor came. They took me up to the hospital. And the doctor came, did nothing, treated me like a piece of shit. But I'll tell you right now, that same doctor had a fucking drug problem herself. So, you think that, like, when people have the same sort of problems, like, especially when you're a 15-year-old and you're going to a doctor who has an addiction themselves, you would think that those people would be the ones that would be understanding. I actually ended up losing 3 babies because of the same doctor, because of my blood type. I needed something because my body was aborting the baby, but I needed a certain I needed something. I needed certain medication to keep my body from aborting the baby, and the doctor told me, "Oh, just go home, you're gonna lose the baby anyways." Between my oldest and my youngest son, I had a miscarriage for twins. And then when I was 20, after that, after my youngest son, I had another miscarriage, and both times I went to get this 4-gram shot, to get this medication to prevent me. See, I may not have been ready for another baby, or was it ever fucking hurt on the psyche? That's why I don't ask for help. Holy shit. I know right now I'm not just experiencing myself, I'm experiencing others who can fucking relate. Because you may not have physically had the baby, but when you have it inside of you and you know it's there and you're looking forward to it coming. And I did those alone. I was alone. There was a guy that I was dating at the time when I had my last miscarriage. He wanted to come with me. And I told him no. Well, no, because it wasn't his baby. And at that time, like, I had been very promiscuous. So the last one I wouldn't have known who the father was. And, that whether people want to call me a whore or not, it's still not a whore. It was, I had no self-worth. I was looking for something. I was looking for love. I was looking for affection, just being accepted. But instead, I was a good, I heard, it was a good fuck. Some people, they do that because when they're promiscuous, it's not that they want to be, it's looking for something. They're looking to fill a void. For sympathy or pity. I really don't need it because I'm brave enough to look at myself and see all my ugliness, see all my shadows, my demons. It's the parts where, they say the word devil is taboo, but it's my inner devil. I'll have it, but everybody's looking for one specific individual. There's one worse than others. A lot of stuff is like it's said to cause fear within yourself to keep you looking outside of yourself. And it's actually all in here. Yeah, cool. Who I am. Now I feel that voice. Those are complications. See, some people, they just don't care about what other people have been through. But some of those people that have been through a lot actually care about what those people have been through. That's when people like myself, they put their own stuff aside to help others. Meanwhile, they're screaming on the inside for their own help. They're afraid to, and the way that they feel that, I'll bury it, I'll go help somebody else, and it'll give me the way to kind of push aside what I'm feeling. Meanwhile, it's festering, it festers. And then when it does come out, it's an explosion. And it comes out on the parts of taking out on other people. My ex-husband, he said about you good in your relationship, you had baggage. Just like, yeah. Well, your fucking baggage was a hell of a lot worse than mine. I didn't come in with financial baggage. So I get sick and tired of hearing about fucking money. Half the time I just want to take money and shove it up people's asses. I had my dad tell me because I have been taking money, the bit of money that I do get. Since January, well, since the 1st of February, may as well say, I've taken $7,000. That's Canadian. And I put it on, and I invested it in not just, I invested it in the future. Not like it's invested in the future of for everyone. And my dad was like, oh, well, what do you spend that much money? What do you put that money in? Like, they don't even know really what it's for. But it's investing in my future and, a future that would benefit everyone as a whole. Because I wasn't thinking of myself when I'm doing it. It's something that Spirit brings forward to us. Because that's who's got the credit. Spirit gave me the ability to go within. Show me now. But it was like, what would you do next? It's because maybe I don't see it right at the now moment. But I know that it's going to come to fruition, no matter how long it takes. And that's the part of for somebody to say that to their own child. And then they want us to stop fighting, but they play one against the other because they play favorites. And they can say that they don't. And to tell you, yeah, you do. And if people think that your children don't see that, your grandchildren don't see that, shake your head. Because I'll tell you right now, I've seen versions, the different versions of the people in my life. The younger versions and older versions. And I've seen what their life became. And that's what I'm working hard to prevent. To prevent that from happening. Because it wasn't a good thing. But what do I know? I'm just crazy. Psychotic. Psychosis. Very intuitive. Very connected with spirit, with God. Connected with me, all parts of me. And I'm still working through things. And I still have my struggle. But I don't give up on it. It's people who give up on us, which leads us to give up on ourselves because we're too busy believing what these other people say. Sometimes it's, they don't want you getting ahead, or it's what they were taught, what they observed growing up. But I've seen the versions. And they're lost. They become lost. And I'm trying to prevent that from happening. But if the people are not going to listen to me, because they think that, oh, you think you know it all, you know everything. That's what my dad says to me. You know everything. Well, you know certain things. Yes, I fucking do. And if I don't know it, I will be the first to admit to it. My dad irritates me. I love him to pieces. He doesn't just do it to me. He does it to another one of my sisters. He does it to my oldest son. Some people don't like that. Me saying my older son. I gave birth to him, whether my parents adopted him or not. I have the fucking stretch marks right here to prove it. So if people don't want to talk to me because of that, well, I don't give a fuck anymore. Wasn't like it's something I'm used to now. My whole family, it's for me, it's been fucked up the whole time for me because I never knew where I lay, where I was in the family because I felt like I was pushed aside. But I still give people the benefit of the doubt, even if there's no apologies. Because to me, actions speak louder than words. It's about making things right. And not just one person to make things right. But some people just don't want to admit to the things that they've done. Because then that means that you can't say that you were all fucking holier than thou. Oh, I do know my ex-husband's like that. I don't love him. My ex-husband's like that. Talks to me like I'm a piece of shit. And like he doesn't do no wrong, but love you, but yeah, you do. And you have people like that want to act all holier than thou. They say about the righteous. Well, righteous means making right choices. They have done things in your past, but are you doing the right things now? Because this is where the kingdom of heaven comes from. Isukutu. You're going to create it out there, but first you have to find it in here to change out there. It's a place, but it's a place that you're going to bring forward from within. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Nobody can do it for you. It's about the power of teaching. It's about teaching people how to save themselves. Somebody can go up and maybe they can heal. Maybe they can heal your physical disability. The only person that can heal your internal fight, struggles, is you. And I had to learn the hard way because they wouldn't even help me with my physical hospitals whenever I went. Oh, you have anxiety, you have depression, you have this. It was always, you have a mental illness. Go take a pill. Go see a doctor. Go lay in your bed. Go sit in front of the TV and eat lots of bonbons and food so that you can become obese and more depressed because, you're eating more because you're on antidepressants because they're not doing their job. They're not doing what is appropriate, what they should be doing in order to prevent, not treating the symptom. Right now, I just experienced somebody taking the glass and just throwing it right across the room, and it's smashing. So, do I see stuff? Yes, I do. I can see it in the experience it in the physical. My nephew, we were here one day, and I said it a number of times. Like this girl, she just so reminds me of my great niece, an older version of her. We're sitting here on my birthday, and I invited my friend. Well, she was my friend at the time. I haven't heard from her in a long time. That's fine. We're sitting here outside, and my nephew he'd look at me and he'd look at her. He'd look at me and he'd look at her. Then he'd look at me and look at everybody else. And say, does no one else see this? Is anyone else seeing this? And they're like, what? And he looks at me and he looks at my friend and he looks at them and he says, she's like a version of Tara, only with tattoos. And we actually had people asking us if we were sisters. But now she won't retain that. But that's okay. I guess I never meant anything to her in the first place. And that's okay because she meant a lot to me. Porque eu I'm not, it's not that I'm looking for a story from people. It's that part of, the question is, if someone was to come back, why should we even accept them back? It's that part of me. I always give everyone the benefit of the doubt, and that can be my downfall sometimes. Do the video where setting no and setting boundaries. The part of I don't care what you're saying. I will know if you're being honest. But then some people, you know, if you call them out on their shit and you know that they're lying, they'll still say, "No, I'm not lying." It's like you're fucking right, you're lying. You know, maybe that's why the ones that they say is coming back. Maybe that's why they were running off and fucking hiding in places and just disappearing. Everybody wanted something from them, but they sometimes you can become extremely bitter, and then you just start going through emotion. You end up losing yourself because you're expected to help everyone else. But what the true teachings is to help others empower themselves. I know the spirit, like I've been so much to shake the shit out of me to wake me up to be. Spirit chose us all to be. So the words, I'm sorry, they can go a long way if there's actions behind it. And the word I'm sorry can mean jack shit. Because you can't just keep saying I'm sorry and keep repeating the same thing over and over again. Because if you're doing that, you're not sorry at all. And then people will gaslight me and then wonder why I ripped the fucking strip off them and then make themselves out like they're the victim. It's like, if I get pissed off at you and it's like, I'm a real bitch or asshole, ask yourself how you were treating me. Ask yourself what you did or what you said to me. Because I just got the feeling of somebody spitting in someone's face. And you know what? When I was younger, someone busted my mom's door because they were drinking and they smashed my mom's door and spit in her face. And this was a man. And when I wanted to go after him, I was told not to. Had I wanted to just pound the shit right out of him, and he would have fucking deserved it. It's disrespectful. And I don't care what was going on. People are drinking. They become flirtatious, promiscuous. They want to fight. Some people, they laugh and enjoy themselves. And that's most of the time what I would do is I'd laugh and enjoy myself, but I lowered my standards because, I was looking for something. So if somebody showed any attention to me, because, some people, my ex-husband used to tell me, oh, well, they only want you for one thing. They only want you because you're pretty. It's like, is that all you fucking wanted me for? You wanted to have me on your fucking arm? You're fucking 15 years older than me. Not throwing shit at you, just asking. I know not all men are like that. And that's the thing. I don't put every man or every woman in the same category because I know that they're not all like that. So right now, I just, you know, I'm not going to put myself out there because I know that, my right person will see me and then will find me. But until then, it's my person. I'm going to feel their heart. I'm going to feel it's true. Do I forgive people? Yes. Do I forget? I don't even forget my own shit that I did. I even struggle to forgive myself for the shit I've done. So that's why it irritates me when I hear people walk by somebody or something like that. Simplest, silliest little things people saying I'm sorry. And then for the bigger things, they don't even want to say it. That's the sad part. People say they won't let anybody hurt someone, and then they do nothing. They see it happening. I'm not throwing shade on people for doing that. It's like, just don't say it. Sometimes I've seen people that say it and they just, some people say they'd stand up for somebody, and then when something happens, you don't do fuck all. And it's that part that means like others, what the fuck? Seriously. When someone sits there and they leave somebody talk so degrading, and nobody says anything. Some people say, oh, well, it's not my business. But you like to gossip about other people. You know, this is not your business, so what the fuck are you gossiping about people? It's a legitimate question. I feel that. Kiss on that guy. Do what you gotta do. If it makes you feel good and it gets you through every day and you feel you gotta, cause like pain on me, well, it's that part of, I guess you're gonna do that, aren't you? Not like me or love me, but you know what? I like me. I love me. Spirit likes me. Spirit loves me. Maybe there's some parts of, the healing parts, and that's okay because I still love. I may say, I hate you to my ex-husband or something like that, but it's that I hate what they're doing. I hate what I'm doing because I've looked in the mirror many times and looked at myself and I said, I hate you. Because that was my inner kid, my inner child saying that it hated me because I wouldn't stand up and do something about the shit. So when you feel angry and aggressive and you say you hate someone and stuff like that, that's your inner child. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Children were never meant to protect themselves. That was on the parents. Sometimes parents were hurting, may not even physically, but emotionally and neglect and stuff like that, and just being pushed aside. That's the worst. That's the worst thing you could ever do to your child. The people that do that, they know that. It's like asking yourself, why the fuck did you have children? So that you could torment and torture them? Did you really want them? Or did you have them just so that they could be your gopher? Or just somebody you could bully and push around? Children are a gift. They're a blessing. They're a teacher. Whether people want to admit to that or not. My birthday, the kids were here, rolling down the hill with them because I love interacting with children because then it brings my inner child out. Because I know how to allow my inner child to be a child. I never knew how to protect them. Siguro ngayon, sinasanoy because totally is not totally. Ikaw to printe. Siguro to siya laki sinuya. And umuwi tayo. Siguro yan. Kaya totoo. I encourage people to come forward with their story. Don't feel shame about it. Release the poison and it will help a lot of other people, even if they do feel angry towards you. It's only because you're showing them parts of themselves that you suppressed, and you made them look at it, see it all over again, and that's okay. क्या prayer que tu tem sido tudo takes a lot of courage, a lot of courage to bring your story forward, and it's okay. As painful as it can be sometimes going through this, it's worth it. It's worth it to me because I'm getting that poison out. I'm releasing. Yeah, and even people that don't stand up for me, I still stand up. Like when I told my ex-husband what happened, he asked me what I wanted to do. And I said that I wanted the person to help because the person had been asking for help. But I can't get it for them. And you know what? Like if they're doing it with other people, don't get caught. It's just that part that I can't make somebody get help. That's on them. They feel they need help, or don't fucking wait for somebody else to get it for you. Because most of the time, you know, if you're asking for help and asking for help and they're not getting you help or listening to you that you need help, then they're not going to fucking help you. So you need to help yourself. And that's the part of going in here. Sitting with yourself, allowing yourself to go through that pain and that hollering, that screaming. Because it's, like I said, it's your inner child and it feels trapped. The children are acting out, they're acting out for a reason. It's not part of kids will be kids. They're carrying something, whether it be from when they come into the world from a different period of a life that they lived or experienced before they became your child, or experience that they're experiencing now. And it can be something that you're not even seeing. Catch. Que tudo que eu trouxe, como a né? Mira, te to si ki alto kush ko ko e to ho te si tu e to puhe be to me se be so next time you look at somebody and think that they had it easy, just remember appearances and looks can be deceived because a lot of people put a good mask on. Eso es. could be helping everyone. And like I said, meanwhile, just falling apart inside. Ya tudo kan Marias, suku ai, pero tudo é que tu kuri por skriva Marian. And the ones who I find that cause you the most hurt, pain, and grief. A lot of times it's the ones that are closest to you. It's taking responsibility for your actions. And yes, some of us grew up in certain situations, but in the end, it is up to us to change that cycle. We're the adults. It's the part of not wanting your kids to go through what you did. But I know you're just a struggle, and I know it can be hard to. And that's why there's so much mental health issues, problems. You know, it's not even like I say problems and issues. But the problem is actually, a vicious circle. It's not, it's the mental health is created from the problem. Because the problem actually creates a lack of spiritual health of yourself. Because you are those parts of spirit. And then there's some people, oh, they don't like that, the way I talk. Oh, like, oh, Wendy, I'm so God person. When I fucking died and realized the truth, that's when I became a God person. When I fucking died at home alone because I was screaming for help and said something was wrong. I was even spitting up blood. And I got told, oh, well, the doctors can't be wrong. But that's the same people that when they go to the doctor and the doctor finds nothing wrong with them or says them that, oh, there's nothing wrong, or it's this or it's that. And they're like, oh, well, no, it's not. It's something else. And they'll say it to me. But, oh, the doctors can be wrong when it was me, right? But the doctors are wrong when it's you. Yeah, what makes you any fucking better? Give you the doing. I mean, flip switch. I'm experiencing it. Why are things different for you than they are the next person? What makes you better or more privileged? Like you get my ex-husband complains about food, it's bland, or it's this, or it's that, or it's always going to the restaurant complaining. It's like, you know what? Why don't you stop there? Like, why don't people just stop their fucking complaining and look at third world countries that they're sitting in bags and they got feces all over the place and they're eating slop. That's the part where you're an ungrateful person. Seldomly do I complain about a food or anything because they know it's on me. It's on me. because I went to the restaurant. If something's not good or what have you, why fucking just, you know, don't eat it, leave, and don't go back. I know people pay good money for stuff, but learn your lesson. Get to the rest of that. But when you're around ones that just it's a constant complaining about everything. No, no, no appreciation, no gratefulness, because you're going into a restaurant, you have people in there cooking, you have people serving you, and they're being treated like a piece of shit. A lot of the time, they're being treated like a piece of shit, and then you treat them like a piece of shit. You treat your server like a piece of shit because they have a lot of people that they're serving and they make a mistake, or you blame them for the fucking food. The secret of what I am. Seriously, cook your own fucking food. Serve yourself. Go ahead. Some people don't like what I have to say because and ones that like I understand people have pain. But you know what? When you like saying about it constantly does not change that pain. All you're doing is making the pain worse because you're so fucking focused on it that you're not putting your attention somewhere else. You're keeping it there. So yes, you're going to experience it all the fucking time. And then if you're not like if you're saying about a pain and you're not getting a bite or a rise from somebody else feeling sympathy or sorry for you, some people will whine because you've got a hangnail. Oh, it might bleed for a little bit, but fucking pull it out. If it grows back, do the same thing. I'm not throwing shade on people because there are people out there that are very less fortunate that have something that's constant, missing limbs and everything like that. And they didn't give up on life. They didn't stop living. They don't complain all the time as much and in as much pain that they may be in. Why don't you ask those people how they're doing instead of complaining about yourself all the fucking time? Because there's a lot of people out there a hell of a lot worse off than you. Which some people, we don't look at that. People didn't know a lot of what I was experiencing when I was experiencing it because I just kind of I hid it because it was like, well, nobody cares anyways. I had somebody tell me that when I was in the psychiatric unit, I went through it again, that they weren't going to be there. It was a family member. But you know what? I would be there for them every fucking day. My mom was always there for me, even when she was unwell. And the thing was that when she was unwell, she was dying. I couldn't be at the hospital. I couldn't watch her dying because I was angry at her. And I was angry with the doctors. I was angry with her because she gave up. She gave up on herself because she was too busy listening to all the other fucking people. My mom was a good person. from all of you. Holy crap. I now know what you've been through, what you were experiencing. Whether people want to believe that or not, if you don't believe it, well, that's your problem, not mine. Get a fucking heart. Seriously, get a heart. Because you're fucking cold. Not being rude, but if you have a heart, fucking start opening it. Do I want to be alone? No. But it's a hell of a lot better than being around people and not feeling like you're alone in there. Don't allow your problems to make you bitter. I'm not bitter. I'm just experiencing my feelings. And it's okay. Because we're always told to suppress them. And it just makes us angry and resentful. Anybody else? Oh, crap, sorry. When I get off, I'm probably just going to let out a big scream because it's my inner child. It's like, yes. So if I get like rude and ignorant to you, or I lash out at you, ask yourself, what the fuck did you do? But oh wait, some people won't even admit what they've done because they'll think, oh, you overreacted. It's like, no, didn't overreact. I just, put up with it for so long, and now it's coming out. So it's when you're families are supposed to talk about things. They're supposed to work through things together. That's what family is. So with that being said, I'm gonna leave it there. A card basically is vehicle day. Big one. You've failed many times, although you may not remember. You fell down the first time you tried to walk. You almost drowned the first time you tried to swim, didn't you? Did you hit the ball the first time you swung a bat? Heavy hitters, the ones who hit the most home runs, also struck out a lot. Babe Ruth struck out 1,330 times, but he also hit 714 home runs. R.H. Macy failed 7 times before his store in New York caught on. English novelist John Tracy got 753 rejection slips before he published 564 books. Don't worry about failure. Worry about the chances you miss when you don't even try. Get the point. I want me to read another one. One who gains strength by overcoming obstacles possess the only strength which can overcome adversity. With that being said, I'm sending you all much love, light, many blessings, most importantly, very good health to anyone and everyone wanting, willing to receive and accept. I want you all to be big, bold, brave. Most importantly, be yourself, be your authentic self. Be who you are, not who somebody says you are, you have to be. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and know that you have more strength than you can comprehend at times. Sending you all love. Que tudo isso, né, pai? Que eu não conheço aí.